Hi, this is Made by Mommy, and today I'm going to teach you how to make this jelly bean bracelet using a loom set in the staggered or offset position. So you should be able to use just about any loom you have. And you'll need about 61 rubber bands. Each jelly bean on the bracelet takes 5 rubber bands each. And I like my bracelets to have 12 jelly beans. And then you'll just need the one extra rubber band that's connected to the C-clip. So we will start by figuring out what colors you want. I used 3 colors for this bracelet. These are all Rainbow Loom brand jelly rubber bands. I'm going to do it now with standard Rainbow Loom brand opaque so that you can see both and decide which one you want to do yourself. So your first rubber band, starting on the right row, goes straight forward one. Then you're going to take a second rubber band in the same color from that peg and bring it to the center so that you have a V with these first 2. And now we're going to add the center peg forward. And from that right peg to the center, so that they now form a diamond shape. And to keep our jelly bean together and make it a little bit fatter, we're going to take a single rubber band and wrap it around these 2 pegs twice. To do that, take it, pull, twist, and fold it over on itself. That's going to give your jelly bean its round center. And now we're ready to create the next jelly bean. So whatever color you want next in your pattern, you're going to take and go forward 1. And then on the diagonal, the second. Forward on the right. And then from the left, or the center I should say, to the right row. So you now make another diamond with them connecting here. And we need to add that cap band across these 2. Pull, twist, and then ring over. And we're ready for our next jelly bean in the sequence. Starting this time from here. Put your 2 on like a V shape, and then 2 more to make a V in the opposite direction, and then your 1 in between. That you pull, twist, and stretch over those 2 pegs. And again, 1 here, 1 there, making another V in the opposite direction and connecting these 2 again with a single band. Stretch, twist, roar, use those muscles. You can do it. Whew. There we go. And so now I've got my 4 colors, and I'm just going to repeat this pattern. So now I'm going to do purple again over here. My 4 purple, and then the cap band. And after purple, I did yellow. See, purple, yellow. But you can do whatever colors you'd like. You want to make sure that cap band's on top of the other rubber bands so that later we don't have too much trouble hooking them. And then I've got my 7 jelly beans set up. If there's no more room for any more, then what we're going to do is put our cap here. To do that, take a single rubber band, wrap it around at least 2 times, and if you can, depending on what type of rubber band you're using, go ahead and do it a third. Then let's take our hook in here, catch that pink band that's on top or whatever color you're using. Ooh, look what I did. I forgot my cap. Let's put that on now before I move that over. So there we go. Now we're set. Now, if I didn't have that cap there, what would happen is when you pulled this off the loom, you'd be able to separate the 2 sides of the jelly bean. The structure would have held together, but those cap bands really give the jelly beans their shape. And that's what it should look like after you've used your hook to get each of those rubber bands. So you're taking the one that's on top, then the one that's on the bottom to the 2 sides, and then bringing the 2 sides to the inside. This is the tricky spot where you need to avoid that cap band. If you need to separate that out so you can see which one you're going for, you want just that band on the bottom. And to bring it back to create the other point of the jelly bean. Keep on going. It's going to be so cute when it's done. And I look forward to seeing pictures of your jelly bean bracelets on Instagram or Facebook. I have a page on both. The last jelly bean in the row. But this won't be the last jelly bean for the bracelet, because I like my jelly beans to go all the way around my wrist, which requires either connecting 2 looms, or if you only have 1 loom, you'll do what I'm going to do here. So we have now 7 jelly beans. I wanted to make my bracelet 12 jelly beans wide. So I'm going to put my hook here in all of those bands and pop my jelly beans off the loom so that I can use this loom again for the other half of the bracelet. So we're now going to begin laying rubber bands on the loom again. Now I have a repeating pattern of 4 colors here, and I have 7 jelly beans already created, which means that I need 5 on this loom. And my first will be the color that only appears once. So that is where I will start, again, where the arrow is, forming my V shape for the jelly bean. And the second V to complete the jelly bean, adding on a cap in the center. Pulling tight, twist, and folding over. And then my next color. And adding the cap in the center. Now you could make this as long as you want. You could keep making jelly beans to be a whole necklace if you wanted. I'm just going for a bracelet now, so I'm going to stop after 12 total jelly beans. But there's no reason you couldn't repeat this for as long as you want it to be. Now, jelly bean shoelaces, that would be cool. I wonder if this would work as that. If any of you do that, definitely send me a picture. I would really want to see that. And this is my second to last jelly bean. And now we just need one more jelly bean to complete the length of 12 that I was going for. Slide down if you need a little bit more room. Ah, slippery rubber bands. Whew, there they go. Okay, so now I have my 5 additional jelly beans set up on the loom. I have my 7 here, and instead of putting a cap here, this is where we're going to attach the other bracelet so that your jelly beans can go all the way around your wrist without you having to go and buy 2 looms. So there you go. Here's our first part of the bracelet, and we're now just going to continue the bracelet from here. All the way up to the end. Two more to go, and then you'll be able to wear this great bracelet you just made. Let's see, did I get, yeah, that one's right. For a second I was worried I had caught the one that was on the bottom first, but I got the one that's on top, and you can tell because of those 2 nice V shapes right there. Okay, so now we have the whole length. Some of you will probably prefer to put your C-clip across all 4 of these. I like to add another rubber band. I find it a little more secure. So pick the color that you want to connect. It can either match or be a contrasting color. Hook it and bring it through. And then put both sides of that rubber band onto your hook, making sure that it's through all of these bands. And then you can take your bracelet off of the loom. That is a jelly bean bracelet, and now we just need to add a C-clip that comes with your rubber bands, or an S-clip if you're using a different brand. And that is what we will put on it so that it can wrap all the way around our wrist. Making sure you get through both of those bands on that side before you take it off the hook. And then to connect on the other side, you would just pull 2 of the bands from this cap. Well, I hope you enjoyed making a jelly bean bracelet with me today, whether you used regular solid colored bands or the jelly bands for your jelly bean bracelet. I also have a video up for those of you who are in an Easter mood for an Easter egg bracelet, which is a little bit wider and flatter than the jelly bean bracelet. And of course, my channel has a ton of charms for you to make, like the cupcake, and the hamburger, and the bottle, and a mask, the frosted donut, the taco, and even a trophy. So I hope you have fun making this project and others with me. Please subscribe to get notified when I post additional videos, and comment below to let me know if you like the jelly bean bracelet and whether you'd like to see me do another bracelet next or a charm. I'm even working my way through the alphabet, so if you have a request for a particular letter that you'd like to see first, write that below. Thank you again for watching, and I look forward to looming with you again soon. Bye-bye.